This tank is a WZ-111-1-4. This is a Chinese Tier 9 heavy tank. The map is Overlord. I am going to show you a sniping position that you can play in this game. Basically, what's going to happen is we've got 4 enemy tanks out on the beach, and none of them are going to make it past me. They're all going to be stopped at this point. There's actually a T-95. His final resting place is going to be right in front of me. This is not the actual position that I'm going to play, but it's basically right behind me. So you can see that as I reverse here, I'm in a hull down position. None of those tanks are going to go any further than where they are. They're just going to pop around the corner and all die. Because I'm here, it's allowing my allies to reposition. You can see that the Udis is taking up a position alongside me, and the Object 705, he's coming around into a good sniping position. They would not have been able to do that if we didn't have a strong defense right here. I'm going to get 2,300 damage and 2,000 blocked by armor. And I'm going to do it with regular rounds. You know, those are well-armored tanks, and I'm not going to fire any APCR rounds. You know, it's possible that these tanks in front of me might not do any damage. What's going to happen is we're going to lose this game like 10-2, or I don't know what it's going to be. So there's the T-95. He's out of the game. But what's going to happen is eventually the tanks on the upper level are going to get behind me. I might be the last tank left in the game outside of the SPG. But this is where the last stand is. I'm up to 1,500 damage, 1,190 blocked by armor. This is a situational position. So now you know when the enemy is approaching on the beach and they come to this area, if you've got a tank with a strong turret, you can take this position to put up a defense. So we blocked 440 from the 121. And it looks like I just killed the WZ-120, which was 275 damage. And that 121 did hit me with a heat round that did not penetrate. You can see the score is now 6-10. The enemy is going to start encircling me. That was 485 damage on the 121, and he bounced a heat round off of me. Look at the minimap. Look at what's going on the minimap. They're basically all around me. In fact, I'm the only non-SPG left on the team. So you can see this is a really strong position. This tank is a WZ-111-1-4. This is a Chinese Tier 9 heavy tank, and the map is Murovanka. So you can see I'm taking up a position over here on the west side. I've never played it with a low-profile tank. I've played this position maybe 3 games now. And the nice thing about it is that you're going to be able to take shots. Let's say you're playing in a heavy tank. Before your allies can, like that IS-3A, he's not going to be able to hit those tanks that are backing up and refusing to come around. And look on the mini-map, you can see how that FV, he's really back there, and he doesn't want to come around. Not only that, but you can spot these tanks. Often I was not spotted. Maybe knock this tree down and it will help you. And I'm hull down. For example, this IS-3A, he's got to worry about those distant snipers. You can get hit by the distant sniper, so you do have to be careful. Those tanks are all going to retreat, so I'm not going to get a high damage game out of this. I know it's going to disappoint all the unicums who watch my channel, but oh, it looks like somebody penetrated me. How did he do that? He hit me with an APCR round. It looks like he hit right under my turret. But those tanks, okay, he hit me while I was turning over the deck. But those tanks, they're not coming out to play. They're going to retreat. I was able to hit that Scorpion for 398. But this is a good position. And you can see my allies like the Maushan and the IS-3A, they're not really in a hull down position. They're not really protected. There's going to be people who are going to have really good games playing in this position. So I hope you guys give it a shot. Don't underestimate it just because I got this 398 damage. And I do get spotting damage. I got 830 spotting damage from this position. You can see that my team is obviously advancing. I hit the Tiger 2 for 264, so I'm still in the game even though I'm behind my allies, and this is the point where I'm going to leave the position. Let's move on to the next video. This tank is the E-75. This is a German Tier 9 heavy tank, and the map is Prokhorovka in encounter mode. If you watch my videos, you know I like to play challenging positions. I like to play in the middle of the map. I like to hit the enemy on the side armor instead of the front armor. You know, I'll use the regular rounds. One of my strategies is to sit on the cap, which will draw the enemy to the cap. It's something now that they have to deal with, but I'm going to be sniping while I'm on the cap. I'm not just going to sit here and do nothing. So you can see I got this T-44 on his way up. I got pretty strong armor. He's going to have problems, and he's out of the game. It looked like I killed him, but it was actually someone else that killed him. So we do know now that there's a Scorpion G out there. He's going to be a problem later in the game. When you play this position, these trees are going to help you. This tree is going to help you. This building is going to help you. You don't want to go into this area. And let's see if our Panther knows that. It is safe to go this way, deep into these houses, but you got to be in the bushes and surrounded by houses. And you don't want to do it if you've got people shooting you from the side. So the reason why I'm going forward is I'm hoping to spot something. You can see that somebody must have spotted me. Someone took a shot at me. So we know now that there's a J Panther out there. We're going to hear from him later in the game. And I don't care if I stay on the cap or get off the cap. You know, I'm just here to make it more difficult for the enemy. You can see that the Panther was not in a good position. He should have really been, he's not in a good position. He really should be someplace like in these bushes over here, or knock some trees down, or knock these trees down and hide in these trees. His positioning is not good at all. The Oni, and there's a Black Prince, they're never going to make it up that hill. We're going to have clean shots on their side armor. We're going to hit them with regular rounds. They're not going to make it up there. Looks like I missed an easy shot on the Oni. You see what the J Panther is doing? If he stays back there, he's kind of okay. But if he goes too far forward, I got hit by the Scorpion G. And by the artillery. You see, he's going out a little bit too far. That's a vulnerable position. You especially don't want to go there if you're spotted. And if you see that your ally takes a hit, that's a sign to hide. You are going to get hit by artillery because the artillery gets more EXP if they hit you when you're on the cap, because they get the bonus for resetting the cap. So the J Panther hit me again. I'm on low hit points. I'm going to do another 1,000 damage in this game. You can see my allies have advanced. It's really a vulnerable position. What the Oni is doing is not safe at all. He's going to get nailed really hard over there. And likewise, that Black Prince, he's never going to make it. I'm just going to keep nailing him over and over and over again. The other thing that I can do is I can hit the tanks that these guys over here have difficulty hitting. They're in a safe position, more safe than where I am. However, I have the shots on the enemy tanks. They'll never hit that Black Prince from where they are. I'm the one who has those shots. Person who doesn't suspect it isn't unaware that he's still in danger over there. When you play in this position, you have to have really good situational awareness. You have to have a close eye on enemy light tanks, for example, because they know you're here. You got to be careful when you knock a tree down, because the SPG is going to see that tree fall, and he knows that you're there, and he's going to take a shot at you. If you see an enemy light tank headed for the cap, you know you got to hide. You know he's coming to hunt to look for you. So we've almost taken that Black Prince out of the game. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to kill him. Somebody's going to kill him. I got 1,750 damage, 400 blocked, 946 spotting. My spotting numbers in this game are higher than most people, and the reason why is I play closer to the enemy. I'm never behind my allies. I don't like to use my allies as meat shields. I'm aware that it affects how much damage you do and how long you stay in the game, but it's just not fun for me to hide behind my allies. It's I feel a little bit guilty doing it. So that's the game. Let's move on. This tank is the E50. This is a German Tier 9 medium tank, and the map is Live Oaks. I am going to show you a sniping position that you can play in this game. It was in one of my recent videos. Basically what happened is I discovered that somewhere over here you can snipe through the buildings through a tiny gap, and it's really unsuspecting for enemy tanks. And I decided to give it another shot, and I'm going to get like 1,700 damage. We're going to win this game. I'm going to flank the enemy team. So you can see I'm just kind of wandering around, checking things out. One of the problems with this position is that there's a lot of objects that are in the way. So you have to knock all this stuff down. You can see that there's the gap. Right over there is the gap that I'm talking about. And I'm going through to knock things down. I was able to hit that scorpion in the town over there. Here I am pre-aimed on that gap. Look at that. I hit a Mauerbrecher on the side with regular rounds. Not going to be the last time. I'm going to hit him again later in the game. But I'm already up to 719 damage. If he tries to retreat, he's going to get hit. If one of his allies advances, they're going to get hit. Now they know that I'm here. We see that there's what appears to be a bat chat that snuck through. We are going to win in the town, because what's going to happen is I'm going to wait for the opportunity to sneak around and get behind that Mauerbrecher, and he's going to have people, he's going to have enemy tanks in all directions, so we're going to finish him off. Got to run. He hit me with an AP round for 310. I'm assuming he's got a long reload. But I guess he didn't have a long reload, so he was able to hit me again. You can see that a T95 also showed up. We don't have a... You're not going to believe this. I just got an advertisement pop up on my computer. Okay, I don't know if that interrupted the video. I swear to God, I just got an advertisement on my computer about a car loan or something like that. Okay, so we're kind of outgunned in the town, but we are going to defeat these guys because look at this. I'm making my move now to flank these guys. That Mauerbrecher, he's going to be dead real soon. Right on the side armor. I'm up to 1,000 damage. That's the way you want to do it. You want to hit them on the side armor with your regular rounds. People talk about weak spots and stuff like that. The whole side armor is a weak spot. Oh, he hit me. So we got the FV showing up in town also. The score is 7-4. We're going to get to the point where I think it's going to be 11-5, and then I'm just going to go in and be more aggressive to try and do more damage. Most of the damage I appear to have received was from the Oho. He's trying to hide. I would have damaged him. I would have hit the side of his turret. Now we're going to go after that Mauerbrecher. Scores 11-4. There's a T95. I'm aware that he's there. He's a little bit slow, so I do have time. I did damage the Mauerbrecher for 375, and I got spotting damage on him. He is going to train his gun on me. What I'm doing is actually not safe because the T95 is actually right behind me. But luckily, the Mauerbrecher missed again. And the score is 11-5. We're kind of cleaning up in this game. I got 1,700 damage. This tank is a Mauschen. This is a German Tier 9 heavy tank, and the map is Overlord. I am going to show you a sniping position that you can play in this game. Now, I know you're going to say this is a heavy tank and how stupid I am because I'm not brawling in the brawling position. Actually, nobody's really going to show up in those positions, so it really doesn't matter that much. But the reason why I decided to come here was because I wanted to check something out. I wanted to see if I could snipe here, and obviously over here, and over here. And you can, from this position, look at where I am. You can snipe tanks that come over here, and you can snipe tanks that come over here, and any tanks that come over here, which is going to happen in this game. And I'm going to reposition over here and shoot at the tanks down there. And you need to have strong armor in order to do it. But like I said, we're not going to get a lot of tanks over here. And the reason why is because, as you can see, most of my team who are going to die soon are on the east side. They're not going to be there for long because they're all a bunch of unicums. And they forgot to bring their gold rounds. So the enemy team is going to slice through them. You can see the Kronwagen, who's already notifying us that we're going to enjoy our loss. It's actually going to be a close game. It's going to be like me against 2 tanks and an SPG at the end. But you can see, I'll keep on advancing so you can see, here's an example of how you could shoot a tank over here if one did happen to show up. There he is. Unfortunately, the T-95 was blocking me from firing my tomato round. I think I'm going to miss. Yeah. So I missed with that round on the T-34B. I am going to have shots on the east side. Okay, so that was 259 damage. That was an HE round against the T-34B. You know, I really wasn't paying attention, but I believe I may have hit him on the roof, and that is where you want to hit him if you can. So you can see that the Kronwagen has an Object 268 and a T-95. Okay, that was 171 damage against the T-34B. I was just spotted, which means that the RD is not going to fire at me. The T-34B bounced 535 off of me. It must have been a high explosive round because it did not show up on the log. You can see that that does not show up on the log. So I did get a sniping shot on the defender over there. I did an amazing 82 damage with my tomato round. This guy over here, the T-110E4, his name is Mongon111. He's actually a subscriber. I'm very happy to kill him later in the game, but we'll have to wait and see when that happens. The score is 6-6. I'm advising the Kronwagen, you know, he's up against a T-95. Just run away from him. Why would you sit there and fight a T-95 when you can just run away? You know, just run away. Okay, so I'm still going to stay in this general area. I've got some tricky shots. I'm still firing the tomato rounds. I should switch to AP because these are softer targets and you got the higher velocity round. And if you hit the rear of one of your allies with an HE round, it's not going to be good. So you notice that the artillery finally took a shot at me, which was the first 43 damage. My ally did take out that Udis. The Kronwagen, of course, is going to complain. There's Mongon 111. That's the first piece of pain that he's going to feel in this game from my gun. One of the things that I thought was interesting is I was surprised that he didn't really take up a good defensive position. So I was concerned that maybe I wasn't spotted. Or maybe he thought that he was unspotted because he didn't really take up a good... You're going to see he's not going to take up a good defensive position here. You can see he's not in a good defensive position. I'm still firing HE rounds. You can see he left it way open for me. I should have fired an AP round. I did 122 against him. The artillery wisely took another shot at me. And this is hopefully going to be it for Mongun 111. No! That's 193 damage. Again, I should have fired an AP round. The Kronwagen, of course, is going ballistic because he knows how to play. He knows what's best for me. Yeah, he knows that I should be on the beach instead of firing at the T-110E4. You know, I should be firing at who he wants me to fire at. And, of course, the TVP T-5051, you know, he's not a threat. He's an Unicum player. And we know he's an Unicum because he's going to be firing heat rounds at me. Oh, a little bit too high. And I want you to notice that it's not really a good angle. So I kind of deserve to take that damage. Now, I know that the proper strategy is to deal with the tanks that are on the upper level. And the reason why is because the T-95 is slow. You know, it's going to take him a while to get into the game. So why worry about him? Just let him do what he wants to do. However, there is another tank in the game, which is the Rheinmetall Borsig. Maybe I'm going to be the one that's going to kill him. I'm not sure. But I know he's not going to see to it to the end of the game. Because he's not an unicum like the heat spamming TVP. Okay, so our T-95 is headed down this way. Oh, look at that, look at that. Let's see if we can do some damage. I'm still firing HE rounds. 755 damage, and I blocked 490. But that TVP is going to be a threat to my T-95. And I don't have a good angle. That's a horrible angle. Okay, so the Waffenträger was taken out of the game. Unfortunately, I lost the T-95. Oh, and this is, I kind of got stuck here. The TVP bounced with his APCR, but don't worry. Like I said, he's an unicum. So the heat will be firing soon. The score is 12 to 14. The SPG was taken out of the game. I was concerned about the SPG. I wanted to kind of stay behind these rocks. I think I'm going to get over 3,000 damage. I'm really not sure. But obviously the TVP is a priority. If the TVP were smart, he would just run and hide or spot. Wait for the T-95 to come up would be a smart move. Yeah, that's not a smart move right there. And I have a bad angle. It's really not a good angle. He's got a fast-firing gun, so there was little I could do against his unicum heat. I did get 3,200 damage, and I blocked 2,600. The score was 12 to 15. It's a nice spotting position. This is World of Tanks in the frontline game mode, and I'm going to show you a strategy that I play for Cap C and Cap F while attacking. Basically, I clear out the sniping ridge, make sure that the enemy is not here so they can't snipe. I kill off any tanks that try to defend against C, and then as I come up to F, I go all the way up. You see over here where I'm pointing on the mouse? I go all the way up to here and I clear everything out. So you go through, make sure this is all cleared out. You go to this hill over here, you clear that out. You find any tanks that are hiding over here or up over here where I'm pointing with the mouse. You clear that out, and then you go up on this hill and you clear that out. By the time you get around to here, usually your team has capped. But this is going to make it very easy to cap. I am going to tell you that it doesn't mean you're going to do a lot of damage, and it doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of EXP. You're not going to necessarily get a lot of prestige. I'm going to tell you this is going to help your team win the game. So the first thing we got to do is we got to clear out this ridge, and the biggest problem with clearing out this ridge is enemy autoloaders. You want to clear out all the enemy tanks that are down here, and you want to get into this little dip over here. That's where you're going to have the best firing position. These guys over here, like this Bat Chat, they're going to be able to take some shots, but they're not going to have great shots on this VK and this Carnarvon like you're going to have if you get closer. And the other thing is, if I die, I'm just going to respawn. I'm not going to sit there and complain about whether or not I die. I'm going to keep on. I keep an eye on how many tanks I can respawn with, and if I have a tank waiting, I play very aggressively. So we've got an issue where we've got some tanks over here that we can go after, and I'm going to work on them. As long as I've got shots, I'm going to take those shots. You can see now we have a situation where I can't hit that VK. He's in a position where he's safe. My allies, those two Bat Chats, they went further down the hill. That's very, very, very good. Look at what I put in the chat. I said cap C before we lose the ridge. We control this ridge right now, and I'm telling my allies that now is the time to cap C. We'll see if they do it. We have no one in a capping position. but now is an optimal time to cap C. We've got great control. So as it is right now, we control this ridge. This makes it easy for us to finish off anybody that comes nearby. So the enemy, by giving up control of this ridge, is going to make it really difficult for themselves. You can see that that tank is not going to be able to hide from me. He's out of the game. I'm advising my team to cap C. Now is the time to get on cap C. They're not doing it. 45 seconds have gone by since we controlled the ridge. Right now we have control of the ridge. There's no enemy tanks threatening cap C, and we have nobody capping. It's a huge deal. Okay, so I'm out of the game. No big deal. I'm just going to respawn. Probably going to respawn with a heavy tank, such as the AMX 65T, because somebody needs to cap, and I'm going to trust my allies are going to support me by sniping. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna. I hope we're gonna get this. Got 11 seconds left. And then after we cap, you see that we don't control that ridge, and that P-44 is sniping at me. That's the problem. If I were up there, I would make sure that ridge is under my control. But this Tiger 2 might not have the same philosophy. He might sit there and say, as long as the P-44 doesn't bother him, he'll just sit there and do nothing. And it's the wrong strategy. I do have another tank that's able to respawn, so I'm not worried about respawning. And we're really losing control of that ridge, and I'm out of the game. So the reason why I'm going in, let's see what we got next. Looks like a T-92. This is a very flexible tank. I'm advising my team. We haven't capped anything yet. We've got 6 minutes left, and we're not capping fast enough. I know that we're going to make a comeback. So I decided to help clear out this area over here. You can see that my allies are near cap C, so there's a good chance that they're going to cap it, especially when they have a good sniper like me. I play the role that my allies are not willing to play. You know, I play the difficult positions. If my allies don't cap, I go cap. My allies don't snipe, I go snipe. If they don't clear out a ridge, I clear out the ridge. So this is how you get great sniping. He's easily out of the game. This is why you want to control that ridge. They can't do anything if you control the ridge. I want to fast forward because I do want to move on to cap F, so I can show you that strategy. If you look in the comment section of this video, I'm going to put where I advance to cap F so you could advance it to see that technique. They're not even trying to cap. We have such great coverage. We have control of the ridge. They have almost no one threatening them, and they're not even trying to cap. It's a huge mistake that my team is making. I'm dropping smoke on the cap. That guy's never going to survive. We control that ridge. They have no enemy has no snipers on the ridge. Now, because I'm not in that area, I told you want to be where that dip is. You get better coverage. We completely control this area, and my team is still not capping. This is where I decide I'm going to go after that Tiger 2. I'm just going to kill him. Okay, so I'm getting on the cap. Finally, we're making some progress on capping. This is our second attempt at capping. The enemy is so far away. We got one sniper up on the ridge. The enemy has none. They're never going to get close to us. Notice that I turned my tank to angle my front armor towards the LTTB, and I keep on moving. That's why I use the auto aim. If you don't use the auto aim, it might be impossible to do it. So it keeps my strong armor pointed towards the enemy. It looks like we're going to win the cap. We're going to hit some of these guys on the way out. Going to go for repairs. And then we're going to move on to F. So with F, you want to control the complete east side. We're going to make sure we control that ridge. We're going to go past the cap where that little hill is. We're going to spot any tanks that are over there. They're usually not on the hill. Sometimes they are. But they're usually on the other side of the hill on the lower level. We're going to spot any tanks over there, let our allies kill them or kill them if we have to. We're going to find the distant snipers that are closer to the red line. And then we're going to go up on the ridge that's directly north of the cap. And we are going to kill any tanks over there. And by then we're going to have completed capping. And once we get to the west side, we're just going to be hitting tanks as they run away. So I did 2,700 damage on Lieutenant, and I did 3,100 spotting damage. So usually there's no one up on that ridge. Sometimes there is. It's not that often. Okay, I already know that this plan has been tested and proven. So we've got an ISM over there, got to take him out of the game. If he spots me, it could cause trouble.
Air Scout is ready.
Okay, so now we've got a problem. Not only do we have the ISM, but we've got a Chrysler. And I didn't know that the Chrysler was there. I figured we would deal with that ISM. I can't deal with the ISM and the Chrysler. I will get a respawn if I die, so I'm not worried about dying. It looks like I decided to get off the base. Got low hit points. Got to kill that ISM. He's the priority. He's out of the game. Now we got to kill that Chrysler. My ally is saying capture F. It's actually, he's got the right idea, but it's not what we need to do. Okay, so we capped A, B, and C. There's 4 minutes left. At this point, we need to have those caps running. We've got somebody capping E. Nobody's capping D, although someone is right next to it. We have a good position to cap F, but we're not doing it. We could easily lose this game. I know we're going to make it to the final objectives, but I'm not sure if we're going to win the game or not. Okay, so I know that Chrysler's got to be taken out. And I have no respawns. I'm going to have a respawn in a short time. Gotta take out that Chrysler. That sucks so bad. Okay, he's out of the game. Now the next thing to do is move on to this next hill. And I could have done this the first time around, which I didn't do. You can see that we are capping F. So now I come over here, we spot the Scorpion G, he's running away. We've got the Centurion. Ideally you want your allies to do the damage, because you need to stay alive. You got to spot. And it's difficult to spot over here. The Scorpion G is coming back because obviously he's got a Centurion ally to help him. We got to take these tanks out of the game. If it gets to the point where I'm low on hit points, I'm not going to take as many risks. Wow, we got a lot of tanks over here. I'm really worried about this. But we did capture F. Okay, so in some games, what I do is I come over here, there's tanks right over here, I kill them, I get all these tanks killed, obviously I'm not necessarily the one doing all the damage, but my allies, surprisingly, like where that bulldog is way out there, they can snipe these tanks. We kept these tanks from preventing our team from capping. And then after you do that, you're going to go up on this ridge to where the FV is and clear that out. I, excuse me. So I might have to show another game that shows a better example of how I clear out F. Okay, so this is beyond the scope of the CF cap. Uh, let's stop recording here. There might be another video after this, so keep on watching. I have a website which is standupcomedy.org. Every day there's great videos from great comedians. There's like 40 or 50 videos every day. For today, I'm going to show you today's videos, June 7th. This is Seth Green from Austin Powers. We got Jimmy Fallon doing an interview. It's not on his show. John Heffron, funny comedian. He did Last Comic Standing. Jimmy Kimmel with Ellen DeGeneres. Dana Carvey on Conan. Jeff Ross. Tim Allen. Someone you don't care about. Tom Hanks. Kevin Hart. Alec Baldwin. And these are all clips where they appeared. Oh, come on, load the page. They all appeared on TV or on some show today. So we got another one with Dana Carvey and with Kevin Hart. We've got another Kevin Hart. We've got Will Sasso. This guy is hilarious. We got James Corden, Jerry Seinfeld. He's talking about Seinfeld reboot. Fred Armisen, David Spade about his new talk show. James Corden. This is some guy I don't know. Sean Locke. Dave Attell. Okay, so these are the previous day. This is where we get into the previous day. Is this guy over here, Rob Hayes? I must have liked his comedy, otherwise I would not have added it. So there's got to be like 50 just from today. Patton Oswalt. This is some movie that was a lot of big actors like Dana Carvey, James Corden, Cher, of course, who's a great comedian. She's on Howard Stern. Alec Baldwin, Louis Anderson, Lee Mack is really funny. I know you don't know who he is. Kumail Nanjiani, Seth Green again. Liam Gallagher, this is not a comedian. Dana Carvey with Conan. Dana Carvey, Lisa Lampanelli, she's not that funny. Lisa Lampanelli, she's got a new talk show coming up. Conan O'Brien, this is not obviously going to be a great clip, but every day, great clips. I also have electionnews.org, which is where the real comedy is. All the candidates are here. Oh, you know what? I should go back and show you. These are like all the big comedians. Aziz Ansari, Bill Burr, Brian Regan, Dane Cook, Jeff Ross, Jim Gaffigan. So if I click on somebody like who has a lot, I know that Mark Normand has a lot. Mark Normand is one of the big up-and-coming comedians. He's very funny. And I got a lot of videos with him, and it's all recent stuff. You can see today is June 7th, so he had 2 videos yesterday, 2 videos on the 2nd, on the 29th, on the 25th. So like once a week, he's getting a video coming up. Let's check. Kevin Hart has videos all the time. If you like him, there's like 5 videos a day of him. Let's check Dane Cook. Slow. While we're checking Dane Cook. Okay, so I've got a lot of SNL people. These are the SNL people. These are actors like Mark Wahlberg, Owen Wilson, Steve Carell. We've got all the TV shows like Jim Jeffries, Howard Stern, Conan O'Brien, John Oliver, Seth Meyers. So Dane Cook, he was on Comedy Central June 4th, June 3rd, June 2nd, he was on Kimmel Live. June 2nd, he was on some podcast. May 24th, this is with Tom Green on the Larry King Show. On the 22nd, he was with Bert Shyster, whatever his name is. I don't know his name, but it's a great site. So let's go to the election site. We've got all the Democrats. There's a little bit of Trump news, and the reason why there's not a lot is because if I included Trump, there would just be so much news about him that it would just distract people. So I've got all the candidates. We've got facts like about the Electoral College, and when I say facts, it's stuff like how does it work. It's factual stuff, the history, biography. We've got opinion for different issues like taxes, gun control, etc., and some other boring stuff that you really don't care about. And it's updated every day. So again, look, Bernie Sanders. Today is June 7th. We've got a prediction. We've got him speaking on some TV network. Yesterday, he was Time Magazine did a piece on him. There was also something that looks like CNN and Fox did something on him. This is June 6th, this is just yesterday. MSNBC yesterday. MSNBC, Elizabeth Warren is talking about him. This is a podcast, which was also yesterday. This is Fox News yesterday. This was the day before yesterday, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, 2 days ago. This is some TikTok is Bloomberg, perhaps. MSNBC 2 days ago. Fox Business 2 days ago. 3 days ago, he was on another network you don't care about, CBSN. So all the coverage that he gets on all the major networks, you can go watch all those stories. You can watch all these boring people like Jill Stein, who's never in the news. She goes weeks without being in the news. Andrew Yang is in the news quite often. So you can see we've got him on June 6th, on June 3rd, on June 4th, on May 29th, on the 25th, on the 24th. So he's in every couple of days. He's in the news. So we'll look at the opinion pieces. It's things like why are young Americans? They go and they ask questions. This is a JLE show, so there is going to be some comedy. We've got some guy just talking about some stuff you don't care about. Elon Musk stating his opinion on something. This is a TED Talk. This is from the Atlantic magazine. You know, it's an opinion piece. Why? Fox. Comparison between Canada and the U.S. So this is a debate on a network like Good Morning Britain. There's international news about U.S. elections. So there's a lot of good information here, and I'm going to be making more sites over time. Check the sites out. It's standup-comedy.org and election-news.org. And of course, this will carry on beyond the 2020 election.